Okay, we are now back on the record with item number 9.
Item number 9, this is another wonderful retirement. Recognizing retirement of Ed Braun, El Paso County Public Works. Darrell Glenn, President, Board of County Commissioners.
Ed, are you here? Come on down. You're up.
Good morning.
Okay, well, Commissioners, I move the adoption of the following proclamation recognizing the retirement of Ed Braun, El Paso County Public Works. And whereas the Board of County Commissioners of El Paso County, Colorado, regretfully acknowledges the retirement of Ed Braun from the Department of Public Works. And whereas Ed Braun was hired as a surveyor on September 22nd, 1986, and performed right-of-way staking, design survey work, and construction staking for a variety of infrastructure projects throughout El Paso County. And whereas in 1995, Mr. Braun completed a bridge inspection course titled Safety Inspection of In-Service Bridges. After completing the course, Ed was promoted to the position of bridge inspector, where he inspected more than 270 bridges, oversaw the construction of new bridges, prioritized bridge maintenance and repairs, performed hydraulic calculations, and designed bridges throughout the county. And whereas Mr. Braun developed a construction management database using Microsoft Access that tracks quantities, costs, and work delays. It is still used today. And whereas in 2010, Mr. Braun was promoted to inspection supervisor, where he managed a team of inspectors and oversaw more than $100 million of infrastructure projects, which were funded through the County Road and Bridge PPRTA, federal and other funding sources. And these projects included new roadways, asphalt overlays, concrete repair, bridge construction, bridge repairs, and culvert installations. And whereas in 2010, Mr. Braun was recognized by the Colorado chapter of the American Public Works Association and the Colorado Inspector of the Year. And whereas during his tenure, Mr. Braun developed a wide range of experience that helped him address a variety of field problems which saved the county significant dollars, responded during emergencies and disasters, handled a variety of customer service complaints, and oversaw the construction of the most significant public transportation infrastructure project within El Paso County over the last 3 decades. And whereas Mr. Braun's knowledge and service contributed to the successful operation of the engineering division, and he mentored and passed on his knowledge and expertise to further his career of his colleagues. And whereas Mr. Braun's expertise, commitment, experience, and resourcefulness will be greatly missed by everyone in the Department of Public Works. Now, therefore, the Board of County Commissioners of El Paso County, Colorado hereby proclaims its gratitude to Ed Braun for 31 years of dedicated service. Done this 31st day of May 2018 at Colorado Springs, Colorado, the Board of County Commissioners of El Paso County, Darrell Glenn, President, Mark Waller, President Pro Tem, Stan Vanderwerth, Lojinos Gonzalez Jr., and Peggy Littleton, members, attested to by Chuck Borman, County Clerk and Recorder.
Second.
All right, fantastic. Who's going to come down and start the roast?
Go ahead. Ed, you thought you were the honored guest here, but you're not. Cindy, can I get you to come up here, please? So Cindy works with the Right Eye Center, so she can see what she's getting into, that's for sure. Bad joke, right? Cindy, we want to thank you. The county wants to thank you. My department wants to thank you for letting us have Ed for 31 years because we know who's in charge over there. And so I just want to thank you, and we want to present these to you. Thank you so much for letting us do that.
Thank you.
You can stay if you. No, you're not going to stay. Now you're on your own. Let's talk about how Ed started his career. Ed was a surveyor, is that correct? Yeah. And in one of his survey jobs, the contractors kept running over the pins they placed. And Ed's solution to fixing that was what, Ed?
That wasn't my solution.
Oh, it wasn't. Okay. Ed put nails around the stakes. So the contractor suddenly had flat tires. And guess what happened the next day? Suddenly Ed had flat tires because it was payback. Yeah. So that's how Ed started his career with El Paso County. And I think that's noteworthy. Ed, what year is your Camaro that you drive?
1968.
68.
Nice.
What color is it?
Red,
I understand you just bought a new car too. What'd you buy?
I bought an F-150
Why would you go from a Chevy to a Ford?
because I like Ford trucks.
Oh, you're killing me. I want to say this. Your previous retirement, you had a person that was very visible in the community. Ed's job, he's one of those silent heroes that you don't see. Folks, we have over 4,000 miles of road. We define that as lane miles, 2,200 miles a lane. That includes culverts, it includes bridges, it includes everything that we do. And every day, our community gets up and drives on those roads and drives across those bridges. And those bridges are safe because of people like Ed and his team. Those roads are marked appropriately because of people like Ed and his team. And that's what people don't see is our unsung heroes that are out there taking care of things and making sure things are done correctly. And I'll be honest with you, Ed, I've seen you on many occasions look at things and go, no, this isn't right, let's make this right. You take your time, you're very conscientious about what you're doing, you want it to be right, you're extremely particular about things, and I can't thank you enough for that. I think the citizens of El Paso County cannot thank you enough for that. Again, it's a big job, and they just don't see you out there. They don't see what you're doing. And so I think that's important, and you need to know that. When we talk about bridge decks, we're going to lose a lot of experience here. We have 273 bridges within the county, and it's been a big help reestablishing the bridge deck crew and also maintaining and inspecting those. So we're going to lose a great asset, a great person, someone who I admire. You and I have had our conversations and laughed. We did have one uncomfortable conversation I remember some time ago, but you know what? Ed was candid, straightforward, and honest, and I can't give him enough credit for that. I truly have a lot of respect for you for that. So Ed, thank you is not enough.
I appreciate
but
it.
thank you.
Thanks for your kind words, Jim.
I know they're shy up there.
Good morning, Commissioners. John Clack, Department of Public Works, Construction Services Manager. I've worked with Ed for about 18 years, and we've worked on a lot of small projects, but we've also worked on some large projects together. Some of the larger projects include the Southern Delivery System. We issued permits for that and reviewed plans for that. Made sure that any closures impacted the citizens of El Paso County as little as possible. We also worked on the wind farm together, going out and reviewing roads, making sure that those permits were issued appropriately. We also worked on the PPRTA maintenance projects together. And those projects alone, I think we've got $100 million worth of projects is what we estimated Ed had worked on, but really the PPRTA maintenance projects are probably close to that. When you look at about 13 years and $8 to $10 million a year, it's amazing how much stuff Ed has actually touched and had his hands on. But I mean, you can see the projects that he's worked on, but really what I want to talk about is his dependability. He's very hardworking, and he's always looking for solutions. You can give him any kind of a project, any kind of a problem, and the first thing he does is tries to come up with a solution to that problem. And he does a great job of it. And not only that, he's always looking out for what's the best for El Paso County. And for those reasons, I'd like to say congratulations and thank you, Ed.
Uh-oh.
He says, here comes trouble, and that's true. First of all, I wanted to show you this, and we still have some more signatures to get, but this is something traditionally we do at DOT, and present our retirees with a sign, and everybody gets to go ahead and sign in and show their appreciation to our staff member. So I just wanted to say thank you, Ed, and make sure we'll bring it back so that you can get some more signatures this afternoon at your other celebration this afternoon at the office. So
That is cool.
it matches his car. what do you say about somebody who's worked for the county for 31 years? And when we started writing the resolution, there was not enough paper to be able to say all the things, great things about Ed. But one of the things you should know is that our inspectors, our staff are always there during fires, floods. You've been part of blizzards, tornadoes out in Ellicott.
Yeah.
You remember that? And all the other disasters. And although our staff has a lot of titles of inspectors, they are way more than that. They are really construction managers. They are part of any of our projects from the very beginning. Typically, they are the ones out in the field who are finding the issues, bringing them to engineering, part of the design team to fix the problem, and then taking those projects out to construction and making sure that they're constructed right, well, quickly, and within budget. So, and then making sure that we're designing them well so that the ongoing maintenance that our highway crews have to do is easier and more efficient. So, and not only that, but Ed coordinates not only internally but externally with all kinds of departments, CDOT, other utilities, and other entities and municipalities. And what he works on is much more than just our roads and bridges. We've worked together on parks, shooting ranges, development, racetracks, jails, riding arenas, and I think one of the, and John mentioned it, one of the most greatest things that he does is when we have an emergency and there's something that's broke, we're working with Highway and we're giving them guidance on how to fix that. And Ed is one of the, has one of the best expertise on coming up with those fixes. So that is going to be missed. Since he has been at the county, we've changed a lot here at DOT or Department of Public Works or Public Services or whatever you want to call us. He started out at the office on Stone and moved out to our office on Acres, or was first Mark Shuffle and then Acres. And then, and a lot of things have come his way. Some of the things that have changed in the county is that we now have to do reporting of all of our assets through the GASB 34 program. We have an MS4 stormwater program that we didn't have when he started. They have computers, they have laptops, and the engineering.
Did they not have computers before he started? Is that what you're saying?
Nope. And then our engineering requirements when he came to the county were about a 1/4 inch thick, and now we have all kinds of volumes. And he was part of making sure that we implemented a lot of those policies and procedures. And I think he's lived at least through 5 county engineers. And one of the greatest things I think that he has helped us with is as we have implemented the PPRTA program, our department started out as really more of a maintenance department, and now we're really doing capital projects and major maintenance projects, which we never did before. And so I think that has been amazing. As a colleague, as a boss, one of the greatest things you can do is mentor other staff. And that is one thing that Ed has always done, is pass along his knowledge and always be there, whether it's for an engineer one, as I started out with, or the county engineer, or Jim Reed, or any of the other staff in the department or outside the department. So just want to tell him how much I appreciate that. When people describe Ed, and when they found out that he was retiring, I started to write down a lot of the things that people were saying about him. Easy to work with, dependable, he has so much expertise, integrity, common sense, dedication. But most of all, I think he's a family man. His wife here, Cindy, we really appreciate all that she has shared, because Ed has really made our workplace a better place to be. And then his son, Nick, and also his daughter, Ashley, which she actually worked for me as an intern, and then through college as my administrative person. So I just want to thank you for that. Ed is my eyes and ears out in the field. I trust him, and I'm always calling him and saying, Ed, can you or one of your guys take a look at this so I know what's going on, and so we can make sure that this is a safe condition. And I can count on you. Our colleagues can count on you, the citizens can count on you, and the county counts on you. So I'm blessed to know you and work with you, and thank you for your 31 years of service, and we will miss you.
I think that's it.
It's your turn for rebuttal.
I would just like to thank the county for giving me the opportunity to work here back in '86 and giving me a career path to move on and eventually end up as inspection supervisor. I've seen a lot of projects over the years. If I had to list them, it would take an hour or two probably. But I really appreciate the opportunity, and thanks again.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
All right, I'll bring it up here for comments, and then we will vote on it. Commissioner Gonzalez.
Thank you, Mr. President. I was going to give you a whole lot of praise until Jennifer gave you credit for mentoring Jim. But just the 30 years, that's amazing. And thank you for all the hard work that you've done. I think Jim was right, though, in terms of what people sometimes overlook all the hard work that gets done in the public works and all that thing, that they don't see the people out there, the amount of people, the amount of time that goes into maintaining the roads, the bridges, new projects, old projects. It's just amazing, and but we know that, and we know how important that is. And so I just want to thank you for all that work. 30 years, that's impressive, and you've got a good group that you have mentored and trained, and they're going to continue to do that and hold the standards that you've set. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Commissioner Littleton.
Thank you. Well, I think it goes without saying that our Public Works Department are our silent heroes. Well, none of you may be as verbose and as emotional as our Department of Human Services. You guys are really what make the county tick. You plow the roads, you take care of the roads, you look at engineering prospects and build roads, you ensure the safety of the citizens on our roads. And thank you so much for all that you do. I know when I was serving drinks last week at our employee appreciation lunch out at the Department of Public Works. I was asking people if they wanted like sweet tea, unsweetened iced tea, an Arnold Palmer, we made it up, and lemonade, and I think you said margarita. No, actually that was Jim. I think
wasn't
Jim said
me.
margarita. Was it you? So, and you've been serving here, as long as, before Jennifer was born, I think. So, close to that. But thank you so much, and hopefully you're going to go do something fun. Hopefully you guys are going to go out and enjoy life a little bit. Thank you so much for your service, and you're always welcome to come back and serve on a board and commission. We have the Highway Advisory Council, a few things like that. So, can't say thank you enough.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, Commissioner Vanderwerf.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd also like to thank you for your service to the county. 31 years, that is a long, long time. And it takes a special person to stay dedicated for that period of time, and you are obviously one of those. And every county, including El Paso County, we need people like you who just know how to fix stuff. That's actually a special skill, can get out there and actually see what's going on and just work on fixing it. And so I'd like to want to thank you for all of that. I think it's interesting also that the state has recognized you, as we said in the proclamation, Colorado Inspector of the Year, so they know as well. And maybe to end, the people such as yourself, but really the Department of Public Works, you are unsung heroes, because the measure of success is when you never see anything in the paper about someone being hurt or killed because of a bridge collapse. And we don't have that happen here. 273 bridges, and we have done our job. We've done our duty, and you've been part of that to ensure that we have public safety on our roads. And I just think that's a great record. So thank you for being part of that. Thank you for the 31 years, and I wish you the best.
Thank you.
Commissioner Waller.
Thank you, Mr. President. I sort of keyed in on a couple of the words that Jennifer had to say that are kind of meaningful and important to me, and that's taken on once the RTA dollars started flowing through and figuring out what to do with those. She said before we had been this sort of figure out how to cobble things together through maintenance and things that way. But once those RTA dollars started to flow in, you had big vision and truly worked on big projects. Quite frankly, I think we lack that a lot in our roles. We get safe, we get complacent, we kind of do the things that are comfortable to us. We don't kind of want to step out and take on big challenges. So I'm always incredibly excited and proud to hear about the folks in the county that do that, that are willing to kind of take a little bit of a risk and think big and do big things. So that's something that's incredibly important to me. I hope that's a lesson that you've worked hard to leave with folks that are still going to be working here. I'm sure that is. I know Jennifer loves to think big when it comes to doing projects in the county, but thanks for that kind of thinking for this community. I think it's absolutely a huge thing.
Thank you.
Well said, and I echo my colleagues. You talk about a profession where you tend to receive more negative feedback than anything else, and we really applaud you. And a lot of those things you can't control, because sometimes it's some of the dumb decisions we make, and you basically have to deal with the dollars that we're able to allocate towards you. But you're the ones that actually make things work. You are unbelievable, and we really appreciate all the hard work and effort that you've done, because we are a service-oriented business, and it's tough, and we don't tend to thank you enough. So on behalf of the community, we want to thank you and thank everybody up there that goes to work every single day dedicated to doing the best they can with the resources that they have.
I really appreciate it. Thanks, everybody, for your kind words.
All right, we will make this official then. I will call the roll. Commissioner Littleton.
As it says in the proclamation that we read, regretfully. So regretfully, aye.
Commissioner Gonzalez.
Aye.
Commissioner Vanderwerth.
Aye.
Commissioner Waller.
Aye.
President Forsythe, that passes unanimously. We will stand in recess and take a picture. Thank you.
Thank you.